Welcome to the live checkup. This is where we sit down with Dr. Asante LeBlanc and ask all the possible questions we can when it comes to our health and care. Let me just tell you this first off. Dr. Asante LeBlanc is the medical director and owner of Victoria Clinic, your home for holistic health care in Trinidad and Tobago. Victoria Clinic is located at 54 Galley Street in Woodbrook. Dr. LeBlanc is a medical doctor and certified medical herbalist. She is an integrative health care practitioner, bringing together the Eastern and Western branches of medicine so as to better guide patients on their path to optimum health. She's also a certified clinical densitometrist, specialist in diagnosis and treatment of osteoporosis. At Victoria Clinic, services offered include medical consultations, traditional Chinese medicine consultations, acupuncture, medical herbalism, blood tests, electrocardiograms, lung function testing, and Dexter bone density testing. You can contact Victoria Clinic at 622-2221 or 622-0683. Follow them on Facebook, Victoria Clinic, or Instagram, Victoria Clinic _Trinidad. Website www.victoria-clinic.net. This is the live checkup. I'm JD. Now, let's jump into today's conversation. So much. Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of J Chats. I am JD, and along with me, of course, I've got Dr. Asante LeBlanc, who's here to talk to us today about detox. Don't tell me you haven't heard about it before. I'm sure you've either done one or maybe participated in one involuntarily as a child, but we know detox throughout our lifetime. So let's dive into that because it's a brand new year and everyone is talking about possibly diving into it, whether it's something that we are doing correctly or incorrectly. I don't know. That's why we have Dr. Asante LeBlanc here. Good evening to you, Dr. Asante LeBlanc. Nice to have you inside of it.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing, JD? Welcome. But we've seen each other for the new year, so I
Yes,
can't
we
say
have.
Happy New Year again. I
Yes, we
just have to
have.
say, how are you doing? Yes, yes,
Can,
yes.
can, can I say this first off? I just want to thank you for your patience and always willing to do this show. I know we've been doing it for 2 years and we've had some hiccups over
And
the
we're
time.
not stopping. And we're not stopping. We
We're
have
not
big
stopping.
things. We're
We have
not
big things
stopping.
coming.
We're going syndicated, baby.
I like that talk, syndicated. So let's dive straight into it because I know you've got some limited time today. So I see you in your scrubs and everything, so we can tell, yes, that's the doc doing her thing. Now,
I know it's so much fun. We're in scrubs today, no clothes.
so hear this, right? January, everybody jumps into it. I want to do a detox. My main and first
Mhm.
question to you is what is a detox and how important is it to do that?
Yeah, so JD, wow, that question is so loaded because I don't we were never trained as doctors, Western doctors, that we have to advise detoxes.
Right.
Um, so detoxes are not really part of medical treatments. From a
Oh,
holistic standpoint or the alternative health standpoint, detoxes came about with this mentality that somehow you have toxins in your body and
right.
they're not being cleared. You know, when the reality is, as I have said many times on this show, if your body is functioning as it should, then it should be clearing the necessary toxins as we go on. You understand? Unless it's a heavy metal or something that's a very poisonous substance, and therefore that's a different talk, and that's a whole different ball game.
Right.
But it's important to understand because sometimes, like you mentioned, it's January, everybody wants a detox. But it's really that it's January, everybody's come out from a different year and they've decided that mentally they need to declutter, that they need to make a resolution or two, that they
Mm-hmm.
need to lose weight. And the only way to do this is to detox and not eat. And this is wrong. I think we need to have a mindset that what we're going to do is reset.
You see,
We're
but
going
that's
to
what has been
recalibrate.
told to us
But
that,
but I understand that. So
you
that's why
know,
I'm gonna retell a story and we're
yeah,
gonna hope that this takes on. So I'm
yeah.
not saying that the word detox doesn't exist. What I'm saying is it doesn't have to be something drastic where you're hugging a toilet bowl, puking out your guts, having 10,000 enemas every day. It doesn't have to be about that.
Right.
It has to be about gently balancing and nourishing the body as well as helping it do its job in cleaning up a little bit
And
if your body needs the cleaning.
if our body needs a cleaning. So what are some of the signs then that that will be showing up? Maybe we've got some skin that's, yeah, as you mentioned, blemishes in the past. What are the signs that where your body says to you, hey, you need a cleanse?
And I really don't think that there are a lot of signs. But
Right.
I mean, number one, when I was young, for example, and I'm still young, but when I was a little girl, I had a lot of blemishes on my skin. I mean, you
Right.
remember we used to call them little sores
Yes.
coming up one time. And that's when you remember when old people used to say your blood sweet. Yeah. So at that time, you saw that something was imbalanced. Be it that I was stressed out. I don't know if I was stressed at the time as a child or what, but I know an old woman come and give me neem to drink for a week, and after that, my skin was clean. You know what I mean? So, but the reality is, JD, I think it's about your mental aptitude. If you feel more sluggish, if you see blemishes on your skin. But I want to impress upon you that before you embark on any detox journey,
Right.
visit your healthcare practitioner to ascertain that there is nothing seriously physiologically wrong
Right.
with you. So
Right.
I think it's important to understand that. So before you jump into a detox, you need to see your doctor, get your stats, know your numbers, and understand if you truly have a problem or not before you, and then discuss with your doctor or your certified herbalist if there is truly a reason for a cleanse or something to that nature.
All right. So all right, so here's another thing that always you always hear when you hear the word detox. We think about our liver, that organ. Can you speak to that organ or speak to us about that organ, the importance and how necessary is it indeed with the detox to, if I can say, cleanse? Is that liver a filter? What's really the purpose of the liver for some of us that may not know?
So the liver is an amazing organ in the body. The liver helps to metabolize a lot of substances from pharmaceuticals to even producing glucose. It's called
Right,
gluconeogenesis when we don't have natural sources of glucose available to us. So the liver does a lot of metabolizing of drugs from antidepressants, anxiety, blood pressure meds,
ooh, a lot of
diabetes meds.
work.
The liver does a ton of work. The liver is a major workhorse in our body. So people think that the liver is only there to clean, but it's not only there to clean, it metabolizes, it produces active ingredients so that it can then be reabsorbed in the body and do their work or whatever
Right,
their function is. So
right.
the liver, and behind the liver is the gallbladder. And the gallbladder is important because it secretes bile, which will then help with digestion of fats. So the liver and the gallbladder are very important. So when you want to clean the liver out, it's a miracle to me because I'm like, well, what are you cleaning it out from? But from a Western medicine standpoint, we don't clean out the liver.
Right.
From a herbalistic standpoint, a Chinese medicine standpoint, from an energetic standpoint, the emotion of liver is anger. And the liver is very important in the distribution of chi and vital energy of the body, which is called chi. And therefore, if your emotions are in a state, if how you deal with anger is not adequate, if you have severe issues with anger management or how you
Really?
or internalizing your emotions a lot, eventually from an energetic standpoint, the liver will need uh, an energetic cleanse. And that can be done via herbs, acupuncture, cupping, meditation, and yoga, and so forth.
All right. So, Doc, tell us what are some of the things that we should avoid or include when we embark on this detox. And before we jump into that, sorry, can you also tell us how often we should do one if we're doing one at all?
So I really don't, there's no timing. I think you have to understand how your body feels. And
Right.
again, always seek out your healthcare practitioner
Right.
and understand if it really is the time to have it done, if something should be done at all. Because there's no timing to it, JD. I think you have to understand how your body feels. For example, if you've overburdened your body with
Mm-hmm.
preserved sugars, white flours, a lot of red meat, a lot of alcohol, you come out of that, then you do need to slow it down, but it doesn't mean that you don't eat anything or so there's processes that can be done, but I think there's no specific timing.
All right.
And I think that's important to understand.
All right.
Yeah.
And what are some of the things we should include in terms of what we eat as well as avoid? Obviously alcohol may be on top of the list in terms of what you should avoid, but I'm sure there are other things we need to stay away whilst we do the cleanse or detox.
Well, JD, as I always tell you, your body is not an island. Your liver is not an island from your
Yeah.
heart and your lungs and your stomach. So the entire body needs to be treated the same way. And that means a healthy, balanced diet, not a lot of heavily fried foods,
Mm-hmm.
decrease or avoid the preserved and processed sugars and foods, the white flours, use natural foods, use local foods, use what is in season, our fruits and veggies that are in season. Listen to your body and see how it feels on certain foods. Know your farmers in terms of pesticides, because if pesticides go into your body, your liver is who will deal with it. Your liver will
Right.
metabolize the pesticide. So these are things that you have to understand. So I would say very important is to look at the quality of food that you're putting into your body at all times. But especially if you're not feeling right, do an assessment along with your doctor. You can do an assessment of what you've been eating lately that may be different, or drinking, or just doing emotionally, working from home,
Yeah.
screen time, too much
Yeah.
screen time, too much bad news,
Yeah.
how you deal with it, all those things. Your bank called you last night to tell you that they're repossessing something. So all these things, they're very
Awesome.
important. It's very important because it impacts emotions, impact greatly on our physical being.
So you won't be Dr. Ginger if you don't touch on some of the holistic stuff that we need to include.
No, we won't. We won't. And
So
so when I think of herbs, and Victoria Clinic obviously is soon going to have a detox line, for want of a better word.
great.
But I
Nice.
don't like to say that. I prefer to say, based on what is the assessment, we'll be able to say this is recommended from a herbal standpoint. Because there's gentle blood purifiers, gentle colon purifiers, or cleansers. When we say we're cleansing the liver, it's not necessarily the organ that we're dredging out. It's from an energetic standpoint. How do we balance and nourish the liver, the
Right.
kidneys, the body on its own, in a whole, from a holistic standpoint? So ginger and turmeric, I always go back to them. I love them as reset factors, reset herbs. I love them in terms of the potential that they have and the multifaceted power that they have on our bodies.
Right.
Cucumbers, neem, amazing. Carila, or Carili, as you call it in Trinidad and Tobago. Nettle, aloes, um, thistles. So the thistles, the cressels, sorry, that you
Water
put
crystals. Okay.
cressels
Okay. All
that
right.
you put in your salad. Those are all amazing natural substances that we can find. Lemongrass, fever grass is an amazing one as well. JD, I like, rough skin lemon with water to revamp, to get my metabolism going, and I don't do it often. So it's important to understand that you don't do any of these practices for too long, especially if you think you're detoxing or cleansing. When you're doing it, it's good to have a very clean diet with clear soups, fruits, veggies, and food. So you start to reintroduce the foods after day 3, for example. So it's important to understand that when you're doing any kind of resetting process.
One thing you just said, and I want to touch on that for a second because, many of us are into this because, again, we've heard this is what you should do. That lemon, rough skin lemon in warm water, you're saying you shouldn't do it often. One of the things you said is, but some of us take that every morning. Is that in itself not
No, I
effective?
would say no, 2 to 3 weeks and take a break. Because you need to understand, you want to see the effect it has on you. You want to see how your body has responded. You want to bring your body back up to optimum functioning state. Your body should not be dependent on everything.
Right.
Your body should be so you need, if you understand, JD, my thing is, so do I look like I never have a pain?
You
No,
don't
because I'm a
look like,
doctor, right? Yeah,
right.
but I have pains, right? And then I know, okay, I'm gonna do 2 weeks of ginger and turmeric, right? And then I'm going to stop because I need to see the effect. I need my body to do what it has to do. And along with that, do my exercises that are necessary for that pain.
Right.
Okay, I can't sleep. Well, that never happens to me, but let's say I can't sleep. then I need to know the chamomile. Why is it I can't sleep? Identify the factors and then treat myself for 2 to 3 weeks and then see what happens. I'm having blemishes on my skin. I will then look, okay, why is this happening? Is it a blood purification, hormonal? What is the situation? Treat it for 3 to 6 weeks, maybe, because the skin is an organ that takes a little longer time. And then you stop, because what you're aiming to do with herbs is not cure alone, it's reestablish the balance, bring back that optimum balance to the body so that it functions well on its own.
All right, this is the live checkup, and we're getting ready to say goodbye to Dr. Asante LeBlanc inside of this discussion today. Of course, we're always going to have very pertinent conversations inside of the live checkup, so we encourage you to share these links. Don't be selfish now. Share it with everyone you know, because the information is indeed key, and it's like getting a free visit with the doctor. I mean, free is always a good word sometimes. But are there anything else you'd like to tell us, Dr. Asante, before we wrap up in terms of speaking on detox? We spoke about the importance of assessment and all that, but I'm sure there's something you want to wrap up with.
Yes, what I want to wrap up with, JD, is that I understand that mentally we like to hear that we're doing something at the start of the year.
Yeah.
So something simple as using dal, dal or clear fish broth, and I would recommend using that for like a week. And you add slowly your ground provisions, and you use your fresh fruit. We're in citrus season, so your grapefruit and your oranges.
Right.
Your pawpaw with the seeds. Awesome for cleansing.
I'm not there
and
yet.
Just doing something as simple as that with like a tea, and a tea that can be made with neem or karaili. And just be cautious, because neem and karaili can lower your blood pressure and your sugar in a normal person. So you want to be conscious of that in case you do too much of it. And then, of course, water on its own, lots of water with rough skin lemon, or water with cucumber slices in it, and that helps to really give that body a nice vibe. You put in that water in, you're allowing for more water at a cellular level so that you have effective cellular respiration and regeneration. So then it does function properly, and it does its own cleansing as it should, as it's programmed to do. And that's so important, because water is a key element for almost all processes in the body, and cellular respiration is one of the most important ones.
All right. So as always, thank you for the info. Don't forget, we shared the information as to where you can certainly connect with Dr. Asante LeBlanc. Of course, you can also check out my website for more videos and more conversations in terms of what I do as well. But keep it right here, as always, inside of the live checkup. You heard the doctor. We're not stopping. We may have a little here and there, or a little gap, but we are certainly continuing.
But we reset, and we do what we have to do. And it's just been a crazy start of my year. I must admit, I've had a lot of I think it's important to understand that I'm human, JD is human, and I like people to understand that. So I've had a lot to deal with in terms of not negative, all positive, I would think, but doing the big girl thing where you have to look at your business and look at your family and get things organized for the start of any new year.
Yeah. So we'll certainly be connecting.
It's been a blast. I look forward to more conversations. Gina, you will get vertigo next week. I promise. I'm not going to back down. And then we just go on from there. But yes, JD, it's been a pleasure. And I mean, any more questions? I mean, I'm available to answer, and send us your topics. JD and I are running out of ideas.
I've actually got one. We'll certainly speak off camera about that.
Okay, great. JD,
I've got one.
Okay, great.
So thank you as always, Dr. Asante LeBlanc, and thank you as well for viewing. Don't forget, click, like, and share. And please continue to just be blessed inside of this pandemic world in which we are living. All right?
Yes. Oh, please stay safe. Please be cautious. Please note that more than ever, the hygienic processes are very important. Washing your hands for more than 30 seconds properly with water and soap. Sanitizing if you don't have the soap. Wearing the mask properly, covering nose and mouth. Please make sure you have, not underneath, socially distance when you can. Open air if you're meeting with people, no parties, be it wherever we know the locations are. Please, because we really need to decrease and cut down on transmissibility.
You know,
So
I
appreciate it.
just don't get it sometimes with persons. If we don't understand, if we do these things, we can we kind of invite the normalcy back in slowly, but the longer we continue to participate in being disobedient, the longer we have to sit inside of this sort of new life, which is uncomfortable for many of us. So I don't know how they get it. But anyway, thank you as
Very
always, guys.
important.
Be blessed. We'll see you inside the next episode of J Chats. Take care.
Bye-bye.
And that's it. Another episode of The Live Checkup with Dr. Asante LeBlanc. This is where I say to you, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the questions as well. You help me do my job even easier. And of course, it's always good to have Dr. Asante inside of our world virtually discussing some of the very important topics pertaining to our health. Now, if you've got that topic for a health discussion with Dr. Asante LeBlanc, don't hesitate to connect with us. In fact, send that email to jdsocial868@mail.com. Yeah, and we'll certainly put our heads together and bring forward another one of the episodes with you in mind. So don't forget, jdsocial868@mail.com. Check out my website as well if you're looking for any voiceover talent or maybe a host for an event, whatever it may be. Check it out, www.jdmedia868.com.